Sing the wondrous love of Jesus, sing His mercy and His grace. In the mansions bright and blessed, He'll prepare for us a place. While we walk the pilgrim pathway, clouds will overspread the sky. But when traveling days are over, not a shadow sigh. When we all get to heaven, what a day of rejoicing that will be. When we all see Jesus, we'll sing and shout the victory. Let us then be true and faithful, trusting, serving every day.
Hi, welcome to Verse of the Day. My name is Brandon Hathaway. I'm a preacher at the Westside Church of Christ in Owensboro, Kentucky. I want to thank you for joining me today as we again open up the Bibles and we continue to study and we continue to go through the book of Genesis. Today we are getting into Genesis chapter 49, and I chose to look at verse 31. Again, as you're reading throughout chapter 49, yesterday in 48 we talked a little bit about on Jacob blessing Joseph's sons, Ephraim and Manasseh, and they received his blessings, and of course he was upset how that went about. And so here in chapter 49 is Jacob blessing all his actual sons, the 12 tribes of Israel. And as he goes through and lists them, a bunch of interesting kind of things that you kind of read, and you can take your time and try to figure out why what's said about them is said. Kind of leads into who they are and what we've seen about them so far. And then, of course, if you kind of look into the tribes in themselves as you go throughout the rest of the Old Testament, you might understand a little more on why that's the way he explained them. Some of them as a lion, or others like a donkey. Another will be by the sea, and so many things as you go through and look at that. And so getting down here to verse 31, he's given some instructions on where he's to be buried when he dies. And so what he says is, of course, to take him back to the land that they had bought, that Abraham had purchased. And so here it says they buried Abraham and Sarah his wife. There they buried Isaac and Rebekah his wife, and there I buried Leah. I remember the first time I heard this kind of brought out and made a point, and it just kind of threw me. I liked the point that was made, and so I can't say it's something I came down on my own, but it is something that I really liked, is the pointing out of Jacob end up loving Leah, right? Throughout the relationship of serving 7 years for Leah's sister, and then another 7 years for Leah's sister. And then with the children, it seemed that even though Leah bore the first few children, that he continued to love the other. And that just continued down that line. But yet she died, of course, and years have passed on by, and it seems that Jacob learned and ended up loving Leah so much that it says here that Leah is the one that was buried in this land, in this area that Abraham had purchased, and that's where he wants to be buried with her. And so it doesn't say anything about where Rebecca was buried and being buried, or not Rebecca. Oh man, Casey, what's
Sarah?
Rachel.
What?
There we go. Had to call on the wife to help me out there. It went over my head. Rachel's where Rachel was buried, and so but he ends up choosing to be buried with Leah, and that I think goes a long way, and that she was faithful in her marriage and continued to be there for him. You can go down, of course, maybe that virtuous wife. But that's kind of the happy ending of the story when you read the beginning of it, how she kind of gets left out and isn't getting as much love, and even when she bears the children, it just kind of say, well, but in the end, it looked like the happy ending for her. So I just remember the first time I heard that, and I kind of liked and they probably brought it out a better way than I did. And so, but I enjoyed it and figured I'd share that. So I want to thank you for joining me. I hope that everybody has a blessed day. We got one more chapter here in Genesis, and we'll finish that up tomorrow. If the Lord is willing, I will talk to you then.